In the fall of 1845, the bright green leaves of potato plants dotted the Irish countryside. For over 200 years, the South American vegetable has thrived in Ireland's wet terrain, unpredictable weather. Packed with carbohydrates, vitamins, and minerals, the potato was a remarkably nutrient-rich crop that made it easy for a less wealthy family to maintain a balanced diet. But in the mid-19th century, potato had supplanted other staple foods, and since British mandates ensured Ireland more valuable agricultural products were exported, roughly half the country's 8.5 million residents lived almost entirely on potatoes. But when harvest began in 1845, farmers found the potato blackened and shriveled. Those who ate them suffered severe stomach cramps and even death. Today, we know that crabapes, Phytophthora infestans, a fungus that flourished in the season unusually dumb weather, but at the time it was simply called the blade. The fungus likely originated in Americas, traveling across the Atlantic on ships, and while it destroyed potato harvests across Europe, wealthier countries than us today generally fared better as they had more resources to draw on. Meanwhile, the southern and western region of Ireland were already impoverished and entirely dependent on a single crop, making them disproportionately vulnerable. The impact of food insecurity are often most severe at the poverty line, but while the failed harvest created class crisis, the government response turned it into a national catastrophe. For centuries, Ireland had been under varying degree of English control, and by 1845, it was part of the United Kingdom with its government based in London. During the famine's first year, this distant ruling body imported corn from North America and offered the Irish employment on public works projects, but this really only caused more problems. Imported food was poorly distributed and offered insufficient nutrition, making the previously healthy population more vulnerable to disease and the increase of maternal child mortality. Worse still, the British continued to export to Ireland grain and livestock. Meanwhile, the public works project required legacy shift of grueling manual labor and was far from where most workers lived. For example, just one of the country's tragic instances is the story of Thomas Malone, who walked 18 kilometers around ship to work every day. One night, exhausted and starving, he collapsed and died just before reaching home, leaving behind a wife and 6 children. Despite the year's counter tragedies, many families managed to scrape by, but in 1846, the down weather returned and the blight worsened, impacted 75% of Ireland's plate yield. British relief effort diminished substantially in the famine's second year, while international aid helped save lives. The overall need was enormous. As the crisis wore on, the government limited who was eligible for relief and taxed Ireland with funding the relief efforts themselves by increasing local taxes. Most modern historians view these disastrous policies as stemming from mix of toxic religious ideologies, laissez-faire economic policies, and political infighting. The British news sources constantly depicted Irish as lazy, simple-minded alcoholics, and some London decision makers believed that famine was God's punishment for these sinful behaviors. Other governments of sorts purposefully blocked efforts to provide meaningful relief due to internal political rivalries. As with famines and food insecurity today, it wasn't lack of resources preventing the British from aiding Ireland, but rather a lack of political will. 7 years after blood began, Ireland's weather pattern returned to normal, and the potato crop finally stabilized, but over 1 million people had perished from starvation, malnutrition, and disease. Between 1 and 2 million more fled the country, beginning a trend that dropped Ireland's population to half of its pre-famine level by its 1920s. Today, climate change is making extreme weather more common and sustained, leading country agricultural communities to face similar struggles. Just as in Ireland, farmers who live on the margins are increasingly facing starvation, malnutrition, and disease due to global weather patterns for which they bear little responsibility. But history doesn't have to repeat itself. If government institutions can provide the kind of aid these regions need, relief effort that coordinate and going, provide sufficient nutrition to prevent disease, and are offered with compassion rather than judgment.